Hello, my name is Cody. I'm viewer number 1, here to watch Jason Savage.
Hi, I'm viewer number 2, watching Jason Savage.
Hello, my name is Zach. They refer to me as viewer 3.
Hi, I am Chase, viewer number 4.
The biggest killer on the planet is stress, and I still think the best medicine is and always has been cannabis. This is a quote by the famous Willie Nelson. In the summer of 2014, I completely shattered my ulna bone at work. Still, till this day, I experience terrible pain in my arm, even after having surgery. I have been offered terrible pills such as Percocets by the doctors, but cannabis has been the only thing to help manage my pain. In this speech, I'm going to give you real facts and explain to all of you why cannabis should be legalized across the United States. So, where did marijuana come from? The oldest known written record on cannabis use comes from the Chinese Emperor Shennong in 2727 BC. Ancient Greeks and Romans were also familiar with cannabis while in the Middle East. Use spread throughout the Islamic Empire to North Africa. In 1545, cannabis spread to the Western Hemisphere where Spaniards imported it to Chile for its use as fiber. In North America, cannabis in the form of hemp was grown on many plantations for use in rope, clothing, and paper. So let's look at cannabis usage. Cannabis sativa grows wild throughout many tropical and humid parts of the world. Its seeds have been used for animal feed, its fiber for hemp rope, and its oil as a vehicle for paint. The plant also has been used for medical purposes. These include seizures, cancer, and chronic pain. Next thing, let's look at some common myths about marijuana. So driving high is as bad as driving drunk. That is one common myth. But actually, drunk driving kills 28 people a day in America, according to Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Studies have not shown similar results related to marijuana. There isn't even enough information if marijuana even increases the number of traffic accidents in the United States. Another common myth, pot causes brain damage. A study recently looked at the brains of 20 heavy cannabis users and compared them to 20 non-smokers. All participants were between the ages of 18 and 25. Their brains showed differences in areas related to cognitive and emotional processing. The media ran with those results, claiming that marijuana ruined your brain. As the study authors explain, their results do not show this. Rather, they show a correlation with no clear indication whether cannabis changes brain structure or if people with certain brain structures are more likely to enjoy marijuana. It should also be noted that the sample size of the study is very small and that the study does not examine long-term effects of cannabis use. And even if cannabis use does cause changes in the brain over time, there is no evidence to show whether those changes are positive or negative. And then another common myth about marijuana is that it's addictive. A certain number pops up again and again in op-eds about the dangers of marijuana, and that's 9%. That's the number of cannabis users who become dependent, according to a study from the 1990s. This would still put marijuana dependence risk comfortably below alcohol, which is 14%, and tobacco, which is 24%, according to the same study. Additionally, the 9% figure was likely inflated because the study did not account for marijuana's criminalization. Certain measures of dependence, such as whether someone had spent a great deal of time acquiring the substance, could be the result of criminalization, not addiction. But the study authors ignored this. Regardless of what percent of cannabis users can be considered dependent, it's clear that heavy cannabis use is far less damaging than heavy use of heroin, cocaine, meth, or alcohol. So why was it made illegal in the U.S.? So after the Mexican Revolution of 1910, Mexican immigrants flooded into the U.S., introducing to American culture the recreational use of marijuana. The drug became associated with the immigrants, and the fear and prejudice about the Spanish-speaking newcomers became associated with marijuana. Anti-drug campaigners warned against the encroaching marijuana menace, and terrible crimes were attributed to marijuana and the Mexicans who used it. So recently, a few states passed legalization. We live in Colorado, so it's been legal here for a few years. But I'm going to go ahead and show the benefits of legalization and the benefits of marijuana if it were to become legalized across the United States. So one thing is taxes. $6.17 million. That's the amount of tax revenue collected in Colorado on legal marijuana sales in just the first 2 months of 2014. These taxes are used for education, roadways, or new and improved infrastructures. $40 million. That's the amount of marijuana tax revenue Colorado is devoting to school education and construction. So why not make it legal if it can benefit each state individually? Another benefit is jobs. 7,500 to 10,000. The estimated number of marijuana industry jobs that currently exist in Colorado, according to Michael Elliott, the executive director of the Marijuana Industry Group. That's a trade association that advocates for responsible marijuana regulation. So with high unemployment rates in each state, why not introduce cannabis legalization to help bring more jobs to people? Another benefit of legalization is crime. Marijuana makes up 30-60% of the Mexican cartel revenue coming into the United States. If we were to legalize marijuana statewide, that would put a hole in the drug cartel and less crimes would be committed. On top of that, less people would be incarcerated for marijuana-related charges, which makes up a percentage of our prison offenders. Another benefit of marijuana is it can cure cancer. That's as stated by Dr. and microbiologist Christine Sanchez of Complutense University in Madrid. We observed that when we treated a certain brain tumor, cells with cannabinoids, the THC was killing the cells in our petri dishes, Dr. Sanchez says. We decided to analyze these components in animal models of breast and brain tumors. The results we were obtaining are telling us that cannabinoids may be useful for the treatment of breast cancer. So I know in this speech I'm supposed to ask my audience to do something. So here we've looked at the history and the usage of marijuana, the common myths about marijuana, and the benefits of marijuana and marijuana legalization. So I'm going to ask you as the audience to be open-minded about marijuana legalization. Stop being scared. This is a lot like when alcohol became legalized. So let's move with the times and bring progression to this earth with marijuana legalization.
Yeah.
Cody, viewer 1.
Hannah, viewer 2.
Zach, viewer 3.
Chase, viewer 4. Legalize it. Legalize it.
And with the song. That was good.